almost finished with math for the week. All right, we're on 215 remainders as fractions. Now in your yellow box, it gives you the easy, this is all you got to know to be able to do the problem. So I'm going to go through that first. To write a remainder as a fraction, write the remainder as the numerator and the divisor as the denominator. So if we're saying 5 divided by 2, 2 goes into 5 how many times? 2 times, with 1 left over. Now before we would have written remainder 1, but to write this as a fraction, you just put the remainder on top and this part right here on bottom, and there's your answer. Boom. That's the way to do it, but I'm going to explain the why to you. When you are dividing, you are finding the fractional part. Back to our cups from Monday's lesson. If I were to divide this cup into 4, I would get this, the fractional part of 1, 1/4. Well, that's all division is. It's dividing things up. And your remainder is actually a part. It's whatever is left of the next whole of what you're dividing by. So, let's take their example. They had 37 divided by 5. 5 goes into 37 5 times. Subtract, I get my remainder. There's nothing else to bring down. I can't get any closer to 37 counting by 5s. So that means that 2/5 are left over when I am dividing by 5. That's your why. If that's just blown your mind, don't worry about it. It's gonna click. The more and more you do it, the more and more you see it. But for now, all you have to remember is that this number is the top of the fraction and this number is the bottom of the fraction. If you understand the why, you're not going to have any trouble remembering that. But for now, if you're going, Miss Charlene, I don't get the why. No problem. Remainder on top, divisor on bottom. So it's almost like he goes from being the bottom of the pile to the top of the mountain. Okay? And then he just kind of slides up and over a little bit. The rest of your division problem remains exactly the same. So let's do a couple more of those. Let's see. How about 45 divided by 4? He can go into that 1 time. Bring down. By the way, you don't have to work this out long division. If you have no problem working out short division, that's just fine. So I brought my 5 down. 4 can go into 5 1 time. I've got a remainder of 1, but I'm writing it as a fraction. So he goes from the bottom of the pile to the top of the mountain, and 4 goes up and over to be the denominator. 11 1/4. One more. Let's do this. 20 divided by 3. 3 can't go into the 2, so I've got to go into all of it, the full 20. Well, I know that 3 times 7 is 21, so that's too big. I'm going to back up to 3 times 8. Now, if you're getting stuck, I know that 3 times 5 is 15. I went the wrong way. I'm looking at it going, no, you're right. I said 3 times 6. What you talking about? B is shouting through his phone. Miss Charlene, you put the wrong number. I know, Riker. I hear you. I hear you as I'm videoing this. I hang my head in shame. Anyway, if you're having trouble, if you've forgotten, I know that 3 times 5 is 15. So then I just count up 3 more. 16, 17, 18. That's right. 6 times 3 is 18. I'm going to subtract. Now, this is a bottom bigger, gotta borrow situation. But look at your numbers. It's 18 to 20. They're really, really close to each other. 18, 19, 20. I'm not going to bottom bigger, gotta borrow. I know that it's 2. I check, it's smaller, there's nothing else to bring down, I'm finished. So I can say 2 goes from bottom of the pile to top of the mountain, 3 goes up and over. 6 2/3. So 20 divided by 3 equals 6 2/3. I would love to lie to y'all and say, oh, I just messed up, I thought that I was going into 30. No, my brain just decided that it was going to go on vacation. Okay, now I'm going to do one more and you're going to walk me through it step by step. It's going to be a small number to make it a little bit easier on you and apparently on me because my brain just isn't today. Okay, so we're going to do 9 divided by 2. Okay, so going up by 2s, how close can you get? 2 times 1 is as close to 9 as you can get without going over. If you've got something you want to write it on and check it too. Okay, you should have said 4. What's my next step? 4 times 2 is 8. And then subtract and then actually do the subtraction. Next is compare. Is 1 smaller than 2? Yep. Is there anything to bring down? Nope. We're done. So 1 is left over. Where does 1 go? Good job. From the bottom of the hill to the top of the mountain. Where does 2 go? Just up and over. 4.5. Now remember I told you that you could do short division with this? You could have just said 2 times 4 equals 8. I know that 9 minus 8 equals 1. And then bring the 2. You don't have to work out all that stuff if you don't want to. That's just fine. Whichever way works easiest for you. And all of the problems they gave you are actually, I'm very happy with them. They gave you easy numbers. So if you don't want to work out the long division and you just want to go straight to the answer and the fraction part, for the remainder, that is just fine. You can do that. Bye!